Archangel Michael says your blessing is being given away if you skip this message. You might be missing out on vital information. And you won't want to look back and wish you had listened. God didn't just whisper your name today, chosen one, he yelled it. He told everyone in the world about it. And the sound didn't stop at the gates of heaven. It went down to you all the way. That sounds like heaven back then. If you could hear that, you'd know that what's going on now is really special. If you're here, know this. You didn't find this message by accident. This message was sent to you. There were many things that tried to keep you from hearing what God has been trying to tell you for months, but it fought through them all. Today, there was nothing that could stop it. Today, the signal got through everything that was in its way. People have called you a chosen one before. You heard it, thought about it, and maybe even thought it was for someone else, but it kept coming back to you. Today is different, though. There is a stronger chosen one among you today than there was yesterday. There's more to this than just a nice thought. It's a prediction that has already come true. It's already set in stone and written. You didn't go off track on your way to this point because of the hard times you went through. They were the words of the prophecy come true. The story is in your scars. It wasn't weakness that was building up every sleepy night, every closed door. And every time you stayed strong, when it would have been so much easier to give up. That was the coming true of the prophecy. Type, "I am the strongest," in the comments if you feel this way deep down, if something in your chest just moved. Today, let those words be true somewhere other than you. Sign up for this message and keep it, because what comes next won't be a one-time thing. What if your body knew something important was going to happen before you even clicked play? This is your proof. Do something easy right now. Put your hand on your chest. Don't think too much about it, just put it there. You can feel the beat in your hands. That's not just life beating, that proves it. That's your body letting you know what your spirit already knows about you. We'll talk about what that proves again. Do not forget this moment. The Holy Spirit has been trying to get in touch with you. For months, not days. There were times when it almost made it. It was like a song spoke to you from deep inside when it played at just the right time. A part of a book that you read twice. A normal conversation about everything in secret. Every block broke off today. He showed me 7 things that the strongest chosen one does. People with these 7 marks were made to carry heavy loads that most people can't. A lot of people have 2 or 3 of these signs. Some people have 5. But if you have all 7, you are part of a group that is so uncommon that less than 1 in 10 solos and lifetimes have this combination. The 5th sign is the one that breaks most warriors. People who were very strong have given up on their calling because of this sign. Some people were led to settle for much less than they were meant for by this sign. There is a name for that sign. When I tell you that name, you'll finally understand something about your life that you've been stuck on for hours. Take a moment to consider your present location, not the chair or the room. Think about what you have on your back. Picture the person you were before this message, before you sat down, and before that part of you decided today was the right day to stop and listen. That version of you was worn out, not the kind of tired that gets better with sleep, the kind that lives in your bones. Some people find this kind of message interesting. The person who doesn't know everything, not the person who gets along with life by having all the answers. This message is for someone who has been thinking about a big question for a long time. Who knows what it's like to feel something that no one else does? That person who has prayed more often than they have been praised in the light. The person who is still here, listening, and trying to figure out why their path doesn't look anything like what they were told it would. That person is the most powerful chosen one, and all of the signs I'm about to talk about are for you. The first sign of the strongest chosen one is most likely something you thought was just being tired, but it's not. It lives in your bones and muscles. A weight that stays even after a full night's sleep. Whenever you wake up, the weight is already there, like your own name. A lot of people see this and think they're not right. The food they eat, their schedule, and the stress of being an adult are to blame. But things aren't going as planned. Spiritual weight is being carried by your body. The stronger the calling, the heavier the weight gets before it changes into something new. This doesn't mean you're weak. This is the body of someone who is made to carry things that most people can't. The second sign is the sudden wave of emotion that comes on for no reason. When something changes inside you, you'll be doing something normal. It's not a thought or memory that made you remember it. It's just a feeling that comes over you and makes you feel sad, calm, grief, and almost happy all at the same time. Then it goes by. You're now in the quiet it left behind. Not being stable is this. Things aren't broken here. It looks like your emotional self is making room. These chosen ones must be opened up all the way before they can hold what is meant to flow through them. It's not a meltdown those waves are. They are like breaking open a box that was never meant to stay shut. Your creative restlessness that builds up in your chest like something is waiting to come out is the third sign. You can't quite put your finger on it. There's a void that feels louder than anything you could fill it with that makes you want to make something, build something, or start something. But every time you try, the urge goes away. It's not a creative block. This is an alert. The chosen ones who are the strongest have jobs that the rest of the world hasn't yet understood. Unis comes from having to do work that's pushing against the walls of a box without being told what it's supposed to build. The problem is not the restlessness. It shows that something was put inside you and hasn't come out yet. The fourth sign has to do with when it is. When you think of someone, their name comes up on your phone. An unknown person across the room says the same word you said in a quiet voice. You make up your mind about something, and within 24 hours, 3 different things confirm it. In everyday life, these patterns aren't named, but where you really live, they are. This is how your frequency is getting better. These chosen ones are the strongest. They have a spiritual sensitivity that makes it easier for what they want to happen. For you, what seems like a coincidence to everyone else is your calling coming together in your life. There are more of these coincidences because you're moving toward a big change instead of away from it. I told you about the 5th sign, which is what breaks most warriors. In that moment, you were ready, strong, and sure that you were finally making progress toward something real. But then, everything fell apart. Not just a small setback, but a complete collapse that made you wonder if you were ever going to get what you were following. A lot of people give up when things like this happen. They set lower goals for themselves. They settle for a life that fits the pain they've been through. They take less than what was promised and think that's smart. A stronger one, though, does something different. Someone who was chosen to be the strongest stays in the game after the collapse. not because they know everything, but because they can't leave. That wouldn't give up, that couldn't let go of the calling, even though it would have been so much easier to do so. Even though everyone else around you knew it made sense for you to. Even when it looked like the silence proved every doubt. That is sign number 5, and most people who are chosen never see it for what it is: proof. It looked like being weak. That showed how strong you were. The fact that your spiritual life has been quiet lately is the 6th sign. Prayers that seem to be hitting a wall. Prayers that sound like they are going somewhere you can't follow. You haven't given up, but you've been wondering if they've forgotten about you. Not being there isn't that quiet. People who have been chosen to be strong are put in this special state before a frequency shift that changes how they see and hear everything. Right now, you are going through the 7th sign. The fact that you didn't stop this message. Someone or something inside you knew something was wrong before it was explained. That recognition wasn't a fluke. It was your spirit letting you know what it already knew. What it knew before you could put it into words. What it will understand a long time from now. You are the most powerful of the chosen ones, and the prophecy was always true. Comparing your progress to people who were never meant to carry what you are may have been the wrong way to judge your calling. Using deadlines made for different missions to figure out how strong you are. It was never fair to compare them because the fastest moving ones aren't always the bravest ones. They are the ones who made it through what was meant to kill them. It wasn't because of what you went through that you were a miss. It was how something you haven't seen all of yet was chosen. Even when things are hard, you can still follow your calling. They show that you are qualified. That's why people trust you with what's coming. The promise doesn't go away in the desert. The wilderness is the place where you can train to get the promised thing. But it's not enough to just notice these signs. Just because you know you have these 7 signs doesn't mean you know what they mean, what caused them, or where they're leading you. Most people are never told what's really going on inside the strongest chosen ones. There's something that makes them feel and think the way they do. And the world has been doing everything it can to keep them from finding out what's going on inside them. That's where this message will go next. When it comes, the signs will make a different kind of sense, not just a spiritual sense, but a scientific sense as well, a sense that can be measured and proven. This sense will shut down every way that doubt has tried to get into your mind. One version of your story begins with a real fire, not a made-up fire. It's the kind of fire that destroys the person you were pretending to be, the identity you built on what other people wanted you to be, and the version of you that learned to stay alive by making yourself smaller, more acceptable, and less dangerous to those around you. That fire wasn't an accident. The phoenix doesn't rise because the fire wasn't very hot. The phoenix rises because there was no more fire. And the strongest ones who were chosen have been through a fire that most people will never see. They weren't unlucky, they were picked. Because a fire that destroys everything only shows what can't be broken on the inside. What did that fire burn? The part of you that needed to be liked in order to feel safe in a room. The beliefs you picked up without choosing them. The ones that kept you small, predictable, and easy to control. The habit of explaining yourself to people who would never understand, no matter what you said, and the silence you kept because you learned your voice was too loud for the space you were given. That had to all go. It wasn't you, not because it was bad. One's strength as a chosen one cannot be based on someone else's identity. They can't bring their real job with them in a container that was made for someone else. What felt like loss was really just making room. At the core of who you are, something that felt like destruction was building. In the oldest holy books, there is a person who really got this. David wasn't king right away. He was alone in the woods for years and years, seeing someone else wear the crown while his time hadn't even begun. During those years, the outside of his life had nothing to do with the calling God had given him. But behind closed doors, something was being built that the palace could never have made. It took patience that could not be bought with money. A trust in a power greater than himself that his comfort would never have taught him. The confidence to hold on to a promise that hasn't come true yet without giving up. He would always have the throne. But the time he spent shaping it wasn't forgotten. That shaping was the training that got him ready to wear what had always been his. This is true for the strongest chosen ones. Failed is not the time between calling and getting confirmed. It is time that is safe. The gap is where you build the character that will help you stand tall when everyone else has already done so. A true assignment can't stand up to fast growth that doesn't have deep roots. There was always a right amount of depth for the weight of what was coming. What were you getting ready for during the tough times? You learned how to be misunderstood without changing who you are, to wait without getting angry, to hold on to a promise that hasn't come true yet without giving up the belief that it is real. These traits are not soft. You can only find these few and powerful traits in people very rarely. There is one thing that all people who are remembered by history, whose names are still important years after they've died, know. All of them were made in a spot that looked like it would fail. Each of them had an enemy who used it against them to show that they weren't the one. And each and every one of them was. What that season of change did for you was make you ready to receive what is coming, not the person who needed approval to feel worthy. This is the version that has been improved by fire, checked by silence, and proven true by the fact that you are still here. That part of you is ready for something that has been building up for a long time. What you just felt, the recognition, the deep connection, and the satisfaction of hearing your own story told so accurately happens, and it happens over and over again. This kind of recognition has its own path made just for those people. Before another second goes by, I have something to say to you. They have been studying something for 20 years that most medical schools don't teach and most labs don't pay for. They are led by a doctor in New York. It was discovered that the smartest people in history, those who seem to be so smart that it can't be explained by normal talent, were doing something that most adults no longer do. And most people don't stop because of their body. It's not your age. That's how the world treats them. That's what this team found. The Genius Switch, an 8-minute audio sequence that connects your left and right sides of the brain the way they were when you were a child, when your mind was working at full speed before the outside world started to dim what was inside you. If what I just wrote moves your spirit, the path is in the writing and the comment below that was pinned. Before this message ends, I'll tell you more. It's the beginning of a new season after a shaping like the one you've been through. 3 things start to change quickly and dramatically. They change in the same way that things change when a hidden stream finally comes to the surface. Before you fully understand what's going on, you'll feel it. The first area is family and friends. People who seemed like they'd always be, they will start to lose their hold on those in this season. This is going to hurt. You'll wonder if moving farther away is your fault, if you pushed them away, or if you became too much. I want to tell you the truth. Some of the things that are going away were never meant to stay. It was only right for the ending version of you, not the beginning version. Don't try to hold on to things that are letting go. Don't put back what is being taken away. Something that the strongest chosen ones have been waiting for the longest will come in the space that opens. People who can talk to you without you having to explain things. You don't have to shrink to make these people happy. There are people in this new chapter who were always meant to be there. The second change is about why. Things that have seemed vague, undefined, or half-formed will start to become clear. Not all at once, but more and more often. There will be clear thoughts where there were only general feelings before. It will start to become clear where that direction that seemed impossible to reach is. A task that seemed impossible will reveal the first step. It doesn't get completely clear all at once, but it gets clear enough. During this time, don't ask for the whole picture before you're ready to move. Someone strong has always been chosen and given just enough light to move on. It's not reckless to act on incomplete information. This is what it means to obey the thing that is being built through a chosen one right now. The third shift is provision. Now, I need to be careful, because provision doesn't always come up the way you've been asking for it to. For many people this season, provision comes as a new skill. The ability to see things that were there all along but were missed before. An idea that couldn't have been formed first. A connection that couldn't have been seen before it was taken away. The money and useful help come next. But it comes after your ability to perceive opens up. It comes after your whole mind is healed. So, the next part of this message is just as important as the parts that came before it. Take a moment to breathe. You've been taking in a lot of this message and letting it sink in. Right now, you don't need to rush toward anything. Don't force yourself to breathe. Just take one slow breath. Things that have been said should be put where they belong. It's not just those who can learn new things who are the strongest chosen ones. They know how to let it rest inside them without holding on to it, rush to use it, or worry about whether it's changing them quickly enough. The process is going on right now. You don't need to rule it. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Most people don't know the name for the principle that guides the lives of the strongest chosen ones. Things work in the world based on the idea of scarcity. Resources are limited, access is limited, and favor is limited. But the chosen one is part of a system that assigns tasks. What you were given will show up. What you have been given cannot be taken away. What you were given doesn't run out. The mistake most chosen ones make is trying to get assigned provision the old-fashioned way. You need a level of perception that most adults were never taught to develop in order to do what your calling offers. It's not a mystery why most adults lost their way to that level. It was looked into, and the study that came up with the answer won the Nobel Prize. These 3 things are safe for you to trust this season. You can believe that the collapse you lived through was part of the plan and not proof that you failed. Trust that this season's slow pace wasn't a punishment, but a well-thought-out plan. You can also trust that what's coming is perfect for the person the shaping made you, not the person you were before the fire. Still, there's something in the room that stands there. Something that was always there when you were about to make a big step forward. It doesn't make itself known. You felt it, but you don't know what to call it. As soon as a path appeared, a part of you moved toward it, but then another part pushed back. That second move isn't a mistake. It doesn't mean you're broken. It has a name: the fear of being fully seen as what you were always meant to be. It is the obstacle for the strongest chosen ones. Not the fear of failing, but the fear of beating the odds. The fear that you will fully become your strongest self, and then learn that even the strongest chosen one can fall. The worry that there will be no one to blame if you give it your all and it still doesn't work. That fear is smart, not weak. You were not braver than the people who jumped into their calling without any fear. It wasn't as clear to them how much weight they were carrying. The task you have to do is just as big as your fear. People who made things that would last, broke cycles that had been going on for generations, and changed the course of something bigger than themselves were all scared. Each and every one. They kept going anyway. How does this obstacle look when it's running in the background of your daily life? The great idea you had never seemed to take off. It looks like you messed up the relationship, just as it was getting serious. That looks like the talk you imagined having 100 times but never did. It looks like shrinking in places where you are the most qualified person of that group. It looks like the dream you have over and over about living a good life, and the wall you hit every time you try to get there. That wall isn't the world telling you you're wrong, because it is based on old information. That wall is your inner defense system, which has been hurt before. You were changed by the shaping. Your safety system is still not up to speed. This fear comes from a belief that says, if I am fully seen for what I can do and I still fall, there will be nothing left to protect me. But here's what you lose when you believe that. The prophecy is taken away from you. Everyone who was waiting pays for something that only you can bring. People who are chosen to be strong aren't strong because they don't have any fear. They're strong because they pick the prophecy over the safety. You have every right to be scared. You can give it a name. That thing that has been holding you back can now feel its full weight. Afterward, you are free to go through it anyway, not by getting rid of it, not by making it look like it's not real. Fear was never a gate, though. When you knew that, there was always a way, and that way has been ready for you. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. And I will show you what was made for times just like this. But first, there's one more thing you need to know. Stronger chosen ones have felt the way they have for a reason. A reason that isn't just about spiritual wars, more than just personality and situation. It has everything to do with how the mind works. The creative restlessness couldn't find a way out for a reason why it seemed like the perception wasn't working all the way. For some reason, the call felt real, but I couldn't fully receive it. The 7 signs, the shaping, and the hurdle will all make more sense once you understand this reason. I'll tell you in simple terms what this message has been telling you. What makes the strongest chosen one feel that way? That's because they were made for something that makes all of their parts work together. Thinking, feeling, being spiritual, and being creative. They had more built into them. There are also more tests, more holds, and more needs to come back online completely. What's been missed? The full use of the skills you had as a child. You had a creative genius when you were young, before school, social rules, and the slow build-up of adult disappointments started to get to you. Most adults have lost that genius. That's not a figure of speech. You can measure that. That has been shown. That's what the Nobel Prize is all about. For whom is this meant? Here's something for the chosen one, who has always felt like they were meant for more. Who has felt like there is a gap between what they think they were meant to do and what they found in their life? And who is ready to see that the gap doesn't mean they failed? There is a gap in the assignment, and the chosen ones who close it are the strongest. There is a spiritual message behind all 7 of these signs: the more than tired feeling, the emotional waves, the creative restlessness, the timing that just doesn't seem right, the refusal to give up on the calling, the spiritual quiet, and the recognition that came before you could say it. Those things are signs that something was taken from you in your brain. You aren't beginning from scratch. You'll be back. When you were 8 years old, before everyone else got their hands on it, something was fully functional. It has been waiting for a signal to come back online. The math behind this isn't new. The Nobel Prize was given to Dr. Roger Sperry in 1981 for showing that the left and right sides of the brain can work together, which is something that most people had never been taught. The whole brain starts to work when they do that. Finally, your whole calling can be heard. One woman from Manhattan comes from a long line of people who thought they were born with bad luck. Her dad worked for a company he loved for 22 years and was fired the week before he was finally promoted. She thought this was the story of her family because she had seen it happen to everyone she loved. Then something changed. A few weeks after what Dr. Barone says, she finally got the insight she needed at an important meeting. She got the promotion she had been passed over for, and the pattern that her family thought was a curse ended. Not after years of hard work, but by fixing up something that had always been hers. The study by Dr. Sperry made it clear that 98% of kids test at the creative genius level. Before they turn 10, both sides of their brain naturally work together. This makes it possible for them to perceive, create, and receive in the way that the strongest chosen ones say is their calling. After that, the number goes down. Less than 1 in 1,000 people still work at that level as adults. There was no natural drop there, it was forced. There are planned and observable ways that modern life breaks the link between the two sides of the brain. A researcher said it was the biggest scam of our time. Everyone's genius that God gave them faded before they could fully use it. It wasn't a slow downward trend, it was theft. And the chosen ones who are the strongest feel this theft the most, because what was taken from them wasn't normal power. It was a very impressive skill. Steve Jobs made the product that changed the way people talk to each other. Nikola Tesla thought about how to solve problems before writing down any numbers. A lot of people like Taylor Swift's songs, which she writes in just a few hours. There was perfect communication between both sides of their brains, which scientists call a flow state. That's not just skill. That is full brain activation, which is backed by the world's best scientists. Yes, I completely understand if you think this is too good to be true. But think about this. What I'm talking about isn't based on a health claim or a self-help idea. It was given to Dr. Roger Sperry in 1981 for showing that the two sides of the brain can work together. That's not an alternative form of medicine. There is no greater honor in the world for scientists than that. Neuroscientists led by Dr. Daniel Barron took that information and turned it into 8-minute access to clinical neural sync technology that takes an hour to use. The machine really works. The guarantee only talks about whether it works for you in particular. That's why I want to talk about the Genius Switch. The product that Dr. Barron and his team made is not a brainwave product, a meditation app, or a 7,000 clinical machine. It is an 8-minute audio sequence that is meant to connect the two sides of your brain using the same neural sync technology that Dr. Sperry showed could work. That's what you do. You shut your eyes. After 8 minutes, your brain will start to do what it was meant to do before everything got in the way. There's no need to practice meditation, no more affirmations to say. There aren't many steps to follow. It only takes 8 minutes of audio working in the background to undo what the world did for decades on top of you. Since Dr. Barron made it public, more than 18,000 people have used this sequence. People who know how you feel, what they thought they were meant to do, and what their life showed was different. The price is low on purpose so that everyone can afford it. Some of Dr. Barron's co-workers thought it was worth $500. Neurofeedback sessions that take place in person cost $300 an hour. A machine for your home costs $7,000. That's not how he priced it. He sold it for $49. Plus, you get an extra 10 off just for being here. It's $39 right now on this page. That comes with 4 extra gifts. A guided imagination from a well-known artist on the Calm app. It saves you at least $100 a month and tells you which 10 foods cause brain fog. A book on manifestation that is more than 100 years old and where most of the techniques you've read since then got their start. Plus a 5-habit infographic you can print out and put on your wall. All 4 of them. All of it comes with a strong guarantee that you can get your money back in full. It takes 8 minutes, so listen 80 times. You don't have to pay anything if it doesn't make you feel better. I have some news for you. You can find results online for Genius Switch Audio or whole brain activation tracks. That study was done. Brain sync technology wasn't used on most of those tracks. That's what they were called for website traffic and ads. You can only get the actual sequence from the research team's direct page. You can find it at the link in the description and in the comment below that has been pinned. The link in the description will take you to a page where you can see what 8 minutes a day does over 2 weeks. There's no fancy gear, pills, or hard-to-follow routine. Close your eyes, put on headphones, and think about what you've always thought. Here you are now, after all the hard work, after being shaped, and after facing the fear that stood in the way of your prophecy. Not the person you became because you needed other people to like you, or because of what other people wanted from you. The person who has passed every test, meant to show what can't be broken. These 7 signs were there for someone for 15 years before they knew what they meant. 15 years of lack of inspiration and emotional ups and downs that no one could fully explain. Timing events that felt important but didn't seem to lead anywhere clear over the course of 15 years. Then something changed. The idea that wasn't working all the time came back online. In 4 months, the creative work that had been stuck because of the restlessness came out. In just 8 months, the provision that seemed like it would never come through arrived through a connection that normally wouldn't have been possible. When asked what had changed, this person said, "Not that I worked harder or finally figured it out." It said, "I remembered who I was." That's the change. That's always the shift. Not more work or more information, but remembering. You're a warrior in the spirit world. It's not a figure of speech. Spirit warriors don't get angry when they fight. They fight by being there. Many people around them want them to give up, but they don't. Having the best argument doesn't change the conversation, because they won't give up on the truth when everyone else in the room has. They change them. This is what you did. You know how it feels to be strong when it would have been easier to give up. That cost wasn't a loss. It was the place where a spiritual warrior trained. Their presence changes the atmosphere of every place they go. You are a leader. People don't go first just because it's easy for them. No one else will go after them, so they do. And because the things they carry can't wait for a path to be made. The pioneer walks the path to make it. You weren't being careless when you did something that no one in your family, community, or generation had done before. You were living up to your role as a pioneer. What you felt was not the universe telling you to stop. It was the resistance that everyone who makes a path feels when it starts. And what they leave behind, the path, is passed on to everyone who comes after. Breaking cycles is what you do. Poor living, silence, and limits that you couldn't see didn't stop in your family tree just because things got easier. They ended because you wouldn't give them to someone else. That refusal wasn't very exciting. People who haven't been through this can't fully understand how much it cost you. The story that comes after you, though, is different, because you were the one who stood in the gap. The person who said, "This is the end of it." The person who carried a pattern's weight so that others would not have to. That's not a little thing. In this life, that is one of the most powerful things a person can do. You are a voice. It's not the loudest voice in the room, but it's the most honest voice. The voice that says what other people feel but can't say. People have been longing for something without a name. This voice gives that longing a name. There was a reason why people felt truly understood in a way they hadn't before after hearing or reading something you wrote. That was the start of your assignment. The voice doesn't need a lot of people to hear it to make a difference. The voice needs one person at the right time, and you've been that person more times than you can remember. More times than anyone told you it was important. When the voice speaks, something that wasn't named before is named. Once something is named, it can be understood, and once it is understood, it can be healed. That's what you do. You've always done that. You can grow out of clothes that were made for a different person. You can grow out of relationships that were made to make you feel safe. People put limits on you because they didn't know what you were capable of yet. You can grow past those limits. You can grow past the part of the story where you were the weakest. You have the freedom to fully become the strongest chosen one. Not slowly. Not until you're ready. Not after you've told fear everything it wants to know. Right now, in this body, with this background, at this time of year, the prophecy comes true even before you think you deserve it. The prophecy wants you to agree with what it has always said about you. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. You're not the only one who feels this way. Even as you read these words, there are other people who have had the same 7 signs and the same belief that they were made for more. They are being told the same thing at the same time, even though they are in different cities and time zones and at different points in the same process. Being the strongest chosen one isn't something you do by yourself. The jobs of each person in the group fit together like threads in a tapestry. What you're carrying is yours alone, but it's part of a calling that's bigger than one life or season, and you're a part of it. Who is this for, anyway? For those who have spent years wondering why they were born with such strong senses and a strong will to fight against what's normal. They had asked this question about purpose so many times in the dark that they stopped expecting an answer. But today, they heard something that answered it from the deepest part of what they have always known. It was always the same answer. The signal was just strong enough today to get to you. You are the stronger one who was chosen. It was always true. It came today in a language your spirit could understand. Now the words start to get quiet. What was said has already been said. The things that were planted are now there. What was shared has been shared. Beyond this message, there is still space between who you were before this message and who you are now. It feels a certain way in that space. Do not let go. It's not going to ask you to explain it. Anything that tried to pull you away, every moment you almost stopped, And every part of the day that made you want to go somewhere else stayed with you. That staying is important. People who were chosen to be strong respect the times they were led to, even if they don't fully understand why they were led there. It was one of those times. I can also hear something being said over you right now. Mind language is not the way to talk. The spirit language, which doesn't need words to say anything, does. It looks like this: I haven't forgotten about you. You prayed in the dark every night and never heard anything back. You never held on when it would have been so much cheaper to let go. You never chose faith when all the evidence pointed to giving up. Every single one of those moments is saved. Each and every one of those times was seen. All of those times have been leading up to what is now happening. You were never behind. You were getting ready all the time. The message is true, not as a promise from a long time ago that you can't see, but as a fact that your life is already catching up to. The most powerful chosen one doesn't wait for the prophecy to be proven before living as if it were true. The prophecy says that the strongest chosen one will live first, and the world starts to organize around that choice. Listen to this. You can still hear it in the deepest part of your being. You are the stronger one who was chosen, not the new one that's coming out. You won't be that person after the next season, the next big break, or the next confirmation. This copy, this body, this history, and this very moment. If you're reading this, it's not about who you're becoming. It's about someone you already are. Let something go while that sinks in. Let go of the part of you that thought the fire was punishment. Let go of the part of you that compared your calling to deadlines that were never yours. Let go of the part of you that called endurance a weakness. It's done. The shape is finished. The fire did what it was supposed to do. And what stands where a lot of things burned is someone that the prophecy was written about before anything was built. This is the seal. You didn't just happen to see this message. What was said about you has been said. Plants that were put here are still there. And from now on, the strongest chosen one takes it forward, not as a thought or a rule, but as the full force of who they are and have always been. The dream came true, and it's yours. Now, go. Not because this is over, but because what was given here was for all time, not just now. The most powerful ones who have been chosen don't stay in the receiving state. They move into the place where they are becoming. But you are already that. Right. The prophecy is real. In the comments, if this message confirmed something you've been thinking, leave that statement somewhere outside of you. This is something that someone who has been in the fire needs to hear. The fire was never a punishment. It was always getting ready. The information about the genius switch is in the description and the pinned comment. In case reading about those 7 signs felt like someone was reading your mind. If restoring your full mind's genius is still something your spirit is reaching for, it was built by Dr. Baron for the chosen ones who remember they were more. 8 minutes have passed, and it's ready for you. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided e-books and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.